All right, ladies and gentlemen, most people believe the myth that you need to have a grill at home to make a delicious steak like this. Not true, right, Jeremy?
Absolutely not. You can make a steak that's better than restaurant quality for a lot cheaper at your own kitchen.
I'm telling you guys, you're not going to want to miss this. It's me, it's Mad Scientist BBQ. Watch. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Cooking with Pregnant Candace. Today, I am with Jeremy Yoder of Mad Scientist BBQ, and he's going to show us how to make a restaurant-quality steak at home. Tell me about this piece of meat. We're at the butcher. You're looking at different cuts, the Wagyu. Just tell me everything you know.
These are fillets. So you might see it labeled filet mignon. People usually just call them fillets, but it's a group of muscles on the cow that are seldom used. They don't get a lot of work, which means they're very tender. So muscles that get used a lot, like a brisket, is from the chest of a cow, gets used all the time, which means it's super, super tough unless you cook it for a long, long time. Fillets are the exact opposite. These you want to sear hard, cook them quickly so that they remain tender. My favorite way to make steaks is actually with cast iron or carbon steel. But we're cooking on an induction stove today, so we have the stainless steel pan, and it's nice and thick, so we should still be able to make great quality steak. So what do you think the first thing we're going to do is?
I think we're going to put salt and pepper on it.
You're very wrong.
I'm so right.
Yeah. Usually the higher up you go, the more evenly you'll coat the steak. That's not super important because this is all going to dissolve and it's going to start penetrating into the meat. What that does is it holds moisture inside the meat, because you can think of salt as something that holds onto water molecules.
Okay.
Right? That's the simple way to think of it. And so if we get salt penetrating into the meat, it's going to hold onto water inside the meat and keep it from drying out. Also, that seasoning, that is the salt, that penetrates the meat is going to give it more flavor. We ideally would do this an hour before so that salt has time to penetrate into the meat further. But because the cook is relatively short, it's not going to go all the way. So sometimes it might be necessary on a steak this thick to add a little finishing salt at the end. But that's a really easy thing to fix.
Okay.
When you put your hand above the pan there, it should start to feel really hot. And then a lot of times, with just tiny bits of residue that you find on the pan, you'll see little wisps of smoke. Then you know this thing is hot, it's ready to go.
It's ready to roll. There we go.
You want to do a spoonful of tallow?
Just one spoonful.
One spoonful.
Which you can make at home by putting fat from all of your meats.
Let's turn this induction stove a little bit down.
It's actually really hot. That's good.
Extremely hot, which is good, because when you take this cold piece of meat and put it on that pan, it's going to start sucking up the heat from the pan. So the more mass your pan has, the heavier your pan is, the more it's going to be able to resist the cooling down. So we put this guy in there. We don't want it to cool down too much. And if you're concerned about it, you can kind of place it away from you so any splatters will go away. And then the next important thing is press it down, because you want that full contact surface to surface, so you get browning all the way around. Because if you just have grill marks where it's browned, you don't have maximum flavor. We want maximum flavor, we want full contact, so we have a completely brown edge. We're gonna get a little smoky here, but that's okay. That means we're gonna be creating flavor on that side. All right, let's see here. Starting to get good color. So you see, right around the edges, you have browning, but right in the center, it still looks a little gray. We don't want gray on the outside.
So you want the entire thing to have that nice brown finish.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we're gonna dump it back in.
Keep it going.
Yeah. Press down right in the middle to make sure it makes contact there. Yeah. This is still gonna need some more time. But we're starting to get that browning that we want. People think you have to cook a steak on a grill because they want the grill marks, they want to see how it looks, but
that's just a psychological operation.
Sounded like Alex Jones.
Yeah. Yeah, so
I got it from top levels of the government. The globalists are trying to take over.
That's really
The
good.
interdimensional clockwork hells.
Where did this come from? I didn't know you could do voices. Who else you can do Donald Trump.
Not really, you can't do it well. It's like, look everybody, quite frankly, I've got the best record you've ever seen.
The best steak.
Yeah. Well done with ketchup, okay? Thank you. I can't really do Donald Trump. I do maybe Jesse Ventura. It's like, you explain to me, Candace, what happened at Tower 7. But that is what we want. You see that bubbling fat? That's getting rid of water.
That's a good pick.
But
that's beautiful.
That's what we want to see. That bubbling is because it's evaporating water and forming that crust on the outside.
As a working mother, I take advantage of every opportunity to save time and money. And if you're following me on Instagram, you know that I love to cook for my family. And so thank goodness for Good Ranchers. I love this brand. I love the quality of their meat. I love their delivery service. Not only do they help me save money, but more importantly, they help me save time. Their boxes are simple to order and they come straight to your door. They make buying meat at the grocery store a thing of the past, especially because grocery store prices feel like they've absolutely doubled. They have. Good Ranchers prices, however, stay low and affordable. Once you subscribe, listen to this, your price will never go up. Your best price is locked in for life. Doesn't matter what the inflation is doing, doesn't matter, you don't have to pay attention to any of that. You are locked in. They only source and sell 100% American meat from local farms and ranches. Their beef is prime and upper choice, the two highest possible grades. They have signature steak burgers and Wagyu burgers that are packed full of flavor. Their pre-trimmed and pre-marinated chicken breasts are absolutely delicious. Take it from me. And it's so easy to prepare. It becomes packaged just so easily. They're better than organic, meaning that they are completely antibiotic free. So be sure to go to goodranchers.com/Candace to save on the quality that you've been looking for. Use my code Candace and enjoy your box of 100% American meat and your $30 savings. If you don't buy the meat in your house, tell the person that does they have to check out Good Ranchers. American meat delivered.
So right now, we're gonna wanna finish this. We're gonna add more flavor, but we're just gonna let it rest.
Okay.
Because the outside of the steak, because we're trying to sear it hard, is gonna be really hot.
Well, let's talk about that, because the whole resting of meat thing, right? Yep. Why do you let meat rest?
The real reason is you have this thing called carryover cooking. Carryover cooking is that outside surface right now is extremely hot, right? 200 plus degrees. The inside is still cold. And so that heat that's on the outside is making its way through. So we let it rest so it can kind of gently make its way through, because we don't want to nuke the outside and have a good sear, but then a huge band of well done meat, and then right at the center we have a bullseye of the medium rare that we're looking for.
Got it.
Okay, so we're just letting it hang out for a second while we get this ready for the next step.
Yeah.
Okay, the next step involves, what is your favorite fat?
Butter.
Butter.
100%.
Excellent.
And it gets a bad rep, by the way, but it is a good fat. Butter is a good fat. It's a dirty rumor that it's not a good fat.
Yeah, it's a conspiracy theory.
It's a conspiracy theory. Now do your voice.
See, it's a psychological operation. They didn't want you to eat butter. They're trying to turn everybody into vegans.
But we want to do a couple things here. One is...
Oof, are we gonna add garlic? Garlic and butter go together, like salt and pepper.
Fan of garlic?
There's no such thing as too much garlic. I've tried the theory. I've never come across a dish where I said, that's too much garlic.
Too much garlic in there?
No,
All right,
exist.
so the easiest way to prep the garlic is put it on the cutting board, take the knife, and just
Oh
give it a
my
pound.
gosh, that's a life hack right there. No, do it again. That's gonna change a lot of people's lives on the internet.
Okay. There we go.
Brilliant.
And so we're not trying to eat the garlic, so it doesn't matter how we treat it at this point, really. We just want it to infuse that butter with garlic flavor. So keeping it simple is gonna be your friend here. So focus on a couple things. Get the crust on the outside of the steak, get the steak done properly, and then all these extra flavors are easy to add, and they're all just a bonus. Because you got the sear, you got salt, and you got it done properly on the inside, you're gonna have people liking that steak no matter what.
Yep.
Now, what we wanna do is start getting this hot again, and then it'll infuse that butter. And while we're waiting, I wanna know what the internal temperature of this guy is. So I'm gonna go on the side here, and right now we're at 105. Okay, so.
Where do we wanna be?
Doing it this way, the way we based it, we're gonna have to take it off fairly early because of carryover cooking. So we probably need to pull it at about, do you like medium-ish? Probably about 114, 115.
114.
And then it will continue to climb another 20 degrees or so.
Wow, 20 degrees it will climb once it's off.
Because we're
How long do you let it rest when you take it off?
When I'm finally done, about 10 minutes at least.
10 minutes.
So, we got garlic. Do you like rosemary? Do you like thyme? Do you like both?
I like all of it. Thyme, rosemary, everything.
So we don't want those herbs to burn. So we put them in last. Now that that's all bubbling, I'm confident that we got garlic flavor infused in there. The garlic is starting to brown a little bit, and you can smell garlic, and you can smell rosemary.
Rosemary,
you can smell
the smell of rosemary.
Yeah, so it's time to baste this thing. And basting is gonna be, it's gonna be really kind of an intense way to cook it. Because
beautiful
it's
this
getting
looks.
heat from the bottom, and then we're gonna be spooning hot butter over the top. So the process just goes like this. You dump the butter in, and it's
Now you
gonna
got
be
all that flavor.
Yep, it's gonna be bubbling.
Now, I want to talk about the temperature you're doing this at, because we want to be mindful that we're not burning the butter. So you're
Correct.
kind of gotten this at like a medium temperature, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if we see the butter start smoking, so let's back off.
Yeah.
We don't wanna have too much of that. But
Ooh, it smells
kinda
so good.
pull it.
This
and
is definitely restaurant quality. This is what they're doing back there. I always wonder what they're
it
doing.
is, yeah. Do this for a minute, and then you have kind of that buttery goodness that coats the outside. One of the restaurant secrets is they'll take a steak, they'll slice it, and they'll cover it with steak butter, which is basically butter and usually parsley or something like that.
So when are we gonna let it rest? How do you tell? Our handy dandy No thermometer.
106. We got a few more degrees. All right. You want to try your hand at basting?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Let's tilt the pan.
Smells so good.
Let's tilt the pan here.
Yep. So
There we go. See the bubbling?
Yep.
That's telling me it's hot enough.
And then I can kind of scoop it in there?
Yep. Go for it.
There we go.
Just scoop it on top. So it's being cooked from the bottom and the top now, which is
This is restaurant quality steak.
Now, as somebody who loves cooking meat with fire, I actually cook steaks in a pan almost exclusively now. I mean, it's exceptionally rare that I'll cook one outside. I just think you get a better sear and you get a better product by doing it in a pan. Okay, that's 113, 115. So I think we're probably done.
Wow.
So, if you would.
I will do the honors.
Yep, there you go.
There we go. Restaurant quality steak at home. Are you gonna put some of these in there?
Yeah, throw some garlic on there.
Yeah.
Why not?
Good.
If they didn't burn, you can eat them too, but.
It's gonna look pretty.
We're just gonna make it look nice.
Yeah. But that's what you want.
First.
You know what? That's exactly right. People like this at a restaurant anyways. They just want it presented like this.
Steak pairs with a lot of things. My favorite is to pair it with steak.
Whoa, what are you doing with that knife?
I'm about to cut a steak.
Okay, it's cut the steak time. Best part of dinner time.
All right.
Ooh, that is perfect for me.
So.
Yep. Wow.
So we're going for medium. I think we're all right.
Yeah, no, this is exactly medium.
Yeah. So what we wanted was to maximize the crust without getting a huge band of well done right afterward. So I think we were pretty good. So
no, I think we
kind of hit
nailed
what we were looking for. Now, if you would have been a better person at heart, you would have gone with medium rare. You would have pulled it a couple degrees sooner.
Yeah, that's pretty. I'm gonna have to eat some of that now.
Okay, remember that restaurant trick I told you about? The thing that they do to make their steaks taste even better? They have their, steak butter.
Oh.
With this, we can just kind of a little bit over the top.
Brilliant.
And then that is gonna have that infused garlic flavor, the infused rosemary, infused thyme, all that stuff. And we don't go crazy, but we got a little bit, so.
Wow.
If you want some.
It's almost too pretty to eat, but I bet I can eat it. All right, I'm gonna go with this piece. I don't know why.
All right.
Wow.
What do you think?
That is a phenomenal piece of steak. I mean, that's better than restaurant grade.
Thank you.
This is 100% better than restaurant grade. And we did it right here in the kitchen. I did all the work, but you did help. You guys, you can follow Jeremy and Mad Scientist BBQ on socials and be sure to tag us. If you make this amazing steak at home, I mean, just grade A. Absolutely delicious. I'll see you guys next time. All right, guys, it's me, Candace, from In the Kitchen. I did a kitchen duet with my buddy, John Rich. We made avocado tostada, because it sounds prettier than saying toast, first and foremost.
It's amplified avocado toast.
We took it to another level. We took it to literally another level. He makes this for his kids, but he now had to make it for me, because I'm pregnant. And everyone has to make me food when I'm pregnant. I'm so excited because I'm still pregnant and I get to have a second breakfast today, possibly a third breakfast. I'm with my buddy, John Rich. You guys all know him, and we're gonna cook up one of his favorite breakfast dishes. I've already kind of warned you, I'm very judgmental when I'm pregnant, so.
Well, prepare to judge because I am an official amateur, so this should be interesting.
What are you gonna make?
So, when you go to like an airport or a hotel, because I spend a lot of time in those places, they always have avocado toast, right? Because it's healthy. But most of the time, it literally is just avocado on toast.
I know.
It's the most boring thing ever to eat. But I do love avocados, and I love what that is. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to hype it up. Now, you got to remember, I'm a Texan, so I like to throw the heat into it. I like to throw a little flavor into it. So I have kind of an amped-up version, avocado toast with scrambled eggs, tostada. Tostada. You eat it flat like this. So let's make this, right?
I'm very
gonna do the
excited
best.
about
So
this.
the first thing is, most people, I learned how to
Do you make this for your kids? I have to ask that.
I do, but
Okay.
I have two sons who are, one's 10, one's 12, and you would think they would eat the same thing, but they do not eat the same thing. So it's always like, hey Dad, don't put that on mine. And the other one's like, put extra on mine. So you know how to get the seed out of an avocado.
Why don't you show us?
You just stick it with a knife, turn it.
Oh wow, I definitely, I was doing the scoop movement.
Bring them out. These are good avocados.
Yeah, those are.
What are these costing nowadays with Biden inflation?
I don't know. I have no idea what they're costing with Biden inflation, but I'm going to go ahead and say $8.
Wow. You know what? You're probably not far off.
I made it up, but you know.
To me, this guacamole that we're making, that's really what sets, because scrambled eggs are scrambled eggs.
You are right that whenever you order this at an airport, it's so underwhelming.
So boring.
It is.
It's dry.
It's disgusting.
It's like,
yeah.
Nah, we can do better
We're
than that.
going to elevate it.
Yeah, there you go, elevate it. And I do watch Chopped a lot, so.
Which means you know what you're doing.
And I'm friends with Guy Fieri, so I'm qualified.
Oh, we got to get him out here. Or is this 3 avocados did we just do?
I'm just doing 2.
Doing 2 avocados.
Just you and me.
Okay, great.
And then,
but I'm also pregnant, so it's actually not just you and me.
These are great avocados.
It's actually, there's 3 of us here. So.
That's right.
Specifically when I'm pregnant, I don't know what it is, but breakfast is my jam. I literally will eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There's no time that I don't want breakfast.
Was it the same way with little man?
It was the exact same way. I couldn't miss breakfast with him, and it had to be a big Southern feast because I grew up with my granddad.
Right.
And he was all about the grits, the bacon, the eggs, the bacon, the biscuits. I should be overweight. I am actually at the moment because I'm pregnant.
I think she looks great, right, guys? She looks great.
Thank you.
All right, you ready? So we're going to fire this up. Purple onion.
Purple onion preferred?
I like purple onion in mine.
A little bit
use
more.
Whatever kind of onion you want.
Fragrant.
You want some coarse black pepper. Plenty of black pepper.
Can't have enough pepper. I love
Salt.
spicy, by the way.
People undersalt guacamole all the time.
I'm one of these people. I've committed this sin.
You want enough salt in there. Little tomatoes. Line that up. Cilantro.
The cilantro is a very interesting herb.
Cilantro fires it up. Squeeze a couple of limes in there.
All right, here we go.
So the lime fires it up, but you know what else lime juice does for it? It makes it last longer. You know, because guacamole turns brown like that.
Oh my gosh, is that
You get
real?
this acid in there, it'll stay better longer for you. So, all right, we're getting our guacamole
That looks
done.
delicious.
So now we're gonna do to our scrambled eggs. Now, scrambled eggs sounds like the easiest thing in the world, but how many times have you like burnt your scrambled eggs?
I never burn them because I realize that people mess them up. That and omelets all the time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And for the same reason.
Well, what I do with it, with my eggs, is I put just a tad itty bit of milk in there.
Can I confide something in you?
Go ahead.
I learned how to crack an egg at 32 years old.
Is that right?
You know how old I am?
32.
32 years old. One day I decided in the privacy of my home about 8 weeks ago to Google and YouTube how to crack an egg.
And so can you crack an egg now?
3 videos.
Should we let you crack one and see how you
No,
do
not
it?
when the pressure's on like this.
You sure?
No, I can't.
I'm sure you're a perfectionist, Candace.
All right, fine, I'll do it.
Go ahead.
But if I get 16 shells in there, you can't.
We can take one more egg. Go ahead.
All right, fine. But then we're going to have to pause so people can take the... Now what I do...
3, 2, 1. Yes.
This is what I do. I go like that. And I drop it.
You turn it forward. It's very kind. You're very kind to the egg.
It's like a little bow forward.
It was a little little honor.
Yeah, helps. The gravity helps.
For the egg that we're about to eat. All right, so those are mixed up. Now, what I do in the skillet is get those in there.
Did you add just a touch of milk there?
I did, just a little bit. So me and Cowboy Troy, you know him, you know, big guy in the cowboy hat, we cook out on the road together. So you should see the tour bus pulled up in some blacktop parking lot or behind some fair or whatever, and we're bringing out, we've got one little burner, you got one fire, you got a little green egg sitting over here, and we'll literally cook all day long.
As a working mother, I take advantage of every opportunity to save time and money. And if you're following me on Instagram, you know that I love to cook for my family. And so thank goodness for Good Ranchers. I love this brand. I love the quality of their meat. I love their delivery service. Not only do they help me save money, but more importantly, they help me save time. Their boxes are simple to order and they come straight to your door. They make buying meat at the grocery store a thing of the past, especially because the grocery store prices feel like they've absolutely doubled. They have. Good Ranchers prices, however, stay low and affordable. Once you subscribe, listen to this, your price will never go up. Your best price is locked in for life. It doesn't matter what the inflation's doing, doesn't matter, you don't have to pay attention to any of that. You are locked in. They only source and sell 100% American meat from local farms and ranches. Their beef is prime and upper choice, the 2 highest possible grades. They have signature steak burgers and Wagyu burgers that are packed full of flavor. Their pre-trimmed and pre-marinated chicken breasts are absolutely delicious. Take it from me. And it's so easy to prepare. It becomes packaged just so easily. They're better than organic, meaning that they are completely antibiotic free. So be sure to go to goodranchers.com/Candace to save on the quality that you've been looking for. Use my code Candace and enjoy your box of 100% American meat and your $30 savings. If you don't buy the meat in your house, tell the person that does they have to check out Good Ranchers. American meat delivered. You know what? Another fun fact. You know, I'm married to an Englishman.
Yep.
They don't really scramble their eggs fully. It's very watery.
Really?
All across Europe. Yeah.
Maybe that's why they lost the Revolutionary War.
I really think that's why. I think that's why we just did
watery
eggs.
Yeah,
I was
our boys are sitting over here. They're cooking them eggs.
This is a perfect egg for an Englishman.
Ugh.
And then I'm like, okay, could you cook mine for 10 minutes longer? Yeah, it's disgusting. It's actually, I'm like, what's wrong with you guys? You don't finish
That's probably
your
what's
eggs.
wrong with Piers Morgan when you think about it.
I honestly think that is too many runny
eggs.
eggs. Yeah,
Piers.
makes
Come
a
on,
runny
Piers,
man.
cook your eggs and man up. You know, we're glad to have you in Nashville, Candace. I remember when Daily Wire came here, you came here. I just blind called Daily Wire and I said, hey, I want to throw a party for Daily Wire.
It was so fun. It was like the greatest party.
I mean, Ben is banging his head to Travis Tritt.
And Meatloaf.
And Meatloaf. Meatloaf was a trip.
Yeah.
And did you also know Meatloaf was a vegetarian?
No, he was not.
Swear. You can't make this up.
No.
So see how these eggs, you put the milk and see what they start to do?
Yeah.
Way better than if they get that, I don't know. I just don't like eggs that get too over.
Yeah, so you're seeing that, so you're not getting too much of that brown stuff.
Right, no brown stuff.
That actually is a nice egg.
Okay, we're good. And now we're gonna assemble this thing. So this is important. So what I like to put it on, I don't like white bread or wheat bread or whatever. This is called Ezekiel bread.
I know Ezekiel bread.
You ever heard of Ezekiel bread? It's really crunchy, really good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some of our homemade guacamole, get that going. Get plenty on there because
You've enriched the guacamole.
Oh, listen to that.
Yeah, I just wanted to use your last name and see if I could do that. That's the only
Thank
word
you.
right now I can think of with rich. So if I come up with any more, I'll let you know.
Get these on here.
Rich? No, it's just really enriched.
About like that. And then this is, so this is a good Texas salsa, Mrs. Renfro's habanero
Okay.
salsa. Okay.
Is it? Please tell me it's hot.
It's hot.
Yes.
Can you handle hot stuff?
I love hot stuff. It's the only thing I want.
Good. Now, I hear if pregnant girls eat hot stuff, it could make the baby come sooner.
I'm gonna eat all of it then.
Ever heard about that? So I'm not the best guy to, but anyway, that's it. You want to cut that in half or how do
Oh,
we? So it's a little bit messy, but look at that. Isn't that cool?
I'll be fine.
So you got all your favorite stuff all on one bite. All right, let's
Second
see how
breakfast.
guacamole
Here
is.
we are.
Guacamole's key. Ready? Here's to you.
Yeah. That's good.
Guacamole's happening.
That's really good. It's actually really good. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
Take that, Fifth Seasons LA.
Take that, England. We cooked our eggs all the way. Yeah.
There you go. Happy breakfast to you.
This is delicious. You can follow John on his social media pages and tag us if you make this at home so that we can share it. We'll see you guys next time. This is so good. I wish I could share it with you guys, but there's just not enough. I don't really wish I could share it with you. Hey guys, all right, you asked, and as always, I deliver. Today I'm gonna be making what I call at home a summer pasta. Usually when we think about pastas, we think about heavy, we think about red sauces, we think about very, very creamy sauces. And this one, I feel like if you're still craving carbs, you're pregnant like me, you're always craving carbs, but it's summertime, you don't wanna feel that heavy, this is a great substitute. Now my producers are fancy, they've decided to name this lemon pesto bucatini with Brussels sprouts and manchego. So we're gonna be making that, and later on we're gonna also throw in a little springtime strawberry balsamic green salad. I make this all the time for George. Today I'm gonna be making it with bacon bits. I've already made the bacon and I've cut it up and it's in this bowl. But my husband's super Catholic, so he does not eat meat on Fridays. And so you can sub that out. Don't feel like you have to do bacon. You can leave the bacon out altogether and make it a vegetarian meal. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is make sure that your pasta water is boiling. And I also put a ton of salt in my pasta water. Second thing, so you have that leftover fat from the bacon. Do not throw it out. That is really great because you're gonna use that to make the Brussels sprouts. So I'm gonna throw in a few of these, most of them, not all of them, right into where the bacon was formerly cooking. At the same time, you can throw in some garlic and a little bit of red pepper flakes. There's no such thing as too much garlic. I've tried the challenge, doesn't exist. Put as much garlic as you want, but go easy on those pepper flakes. And while that's cooking, this would be a very good time to throw in your bucatini. And in terms of how long I cook the Brussels sprouts, it's kind of up to you, it's your preference. I personally hate a soggy Brussels sprout, so I like them super crunchy. And the good thing about Brussels sprouts, You cannot burn them. I swear, the more burnt they are, the more delicious they get. So great. I told George I'm gonna go on set to cook what I make at home, but just know when I get home, I'm gonna be too tired from cooking on set to cooking for you. Now it's a brand, and so I can't cook for you anymore. This is how I like my noodle, a little bit al dente. Now, before you actually pull the noodle from the stove and strain it, you want to use some of the starchy water. I know that seems like totally crazy, but you're going to use some of the starchy water, drop it right into the Brussels sprouts, which you are then subsequently going to move from heat. Once that's done, it's time to strain. Now we're going to grab those noodles, which are nice and al dente. Tongs are what you want to use, and just kind of start mixing that around. Now, I like to add a little bit of manchego cheese. You can use whatever cheese you want. Now, I do the cheese first because the noodle is still hot and you're going to want that to kind of cook down. Go back to your tongs, give it a nice little flip. A little bit of pesto here. And this is basil pesto, by the way. I know there's all different types. Do not forget to add lemon. This is why I call it a summer pasta. Something about the taste of lemon makes me go, oh, it's summertime, ladies and gents. Do not forget your bacon, unless your husband's Catholic and it's Friday. And what we have here is just some basil. You can add right to the top there. Now, I'm actually not that great at plating, so this is about as pretty as it's gonna look if you're in the Owens household. Okay? It's just, I absolutely nailed that. That's all I can say. I literally nailed that. It's delicious. Do exactly what I did. And your husband, your son, your brother, your cousin, they're going to love you. All right, guys, everything has magically been cleaned up because if you're like me, you have elves in your kitchen. Now, to go with the summer pasta, you gotta make a summer salad, even though nobody really wants to eat the salad. It's good to look like you're a health nut and to make one and put it on the table. So what we're going to make today is a nice strawberry salad, but always in my salad, I always put pine nuts in it. I don't know why me and my husband were obsessed with pine nuts. It's very easy to make. Obviously, pine nuts produce their own oil. Now you want to watch them because they do go from like a nice crispy brown to like a burnt popcorn kind of experience very quickly. So you just want to kind of keep moving them until they get a nice kind of like a golden brown on them. Toasted pine nuts honestly smell so good. Yeah, these are good. Okay, so you see that? How quickly they can start to, you want to pull them right now. This is the color that you want. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, pretty simple here, pretty straightforward. You've got your pine nuts in there. Now you're gonna add some strawberries, as many as you like. Today I'm going to use, for me, it's either gonna be the balsamic dressing or lemon. I use a little bit of squeeze of a lemon and olive oil. I'm not, ooh. The taste test moment. We're gonna add some manchego, again, whatever cheese you want. All right, pretty straightforward. Now we're gonna taste it. Yeah. It's just delicious, obviously. So easy to make, you're gonna love that. So that wraps it. That means we have our summer pasta. Now you have a summer salad. Now you can make this at home, and if you do make it, you have to tag me because I've gone through this extraordinary effort. I even put on an apron for you guys. The least you can do is tag me, use my handles, like, subscribe. That was so much fun, you guys. I'll see you next time. All right, guys, a lot going on here. I didn't know what to expect. We started off by calling latkes, lakis, country lakis. It got really weird. But what we wound up with is this wonderful afterlife of grits. You're not even gonna know it can happen. This man can cook. You're gonna wanna watch this segment. Candace is still pregnant, which means we're still eating and cooking. And I've got my buddy John Rich here to put a redneck spin on one of the country's favorites. John, what are we doing today?
I'm an Eggs Benedict fan, love Eggs Benedict. And you know, it's got the English muffin on the bottom. I've never been I know you're an English muffin person, but to me, I'm like, there's gotta be a way to do better than that. It's gotta be a way. So growing up in the country, I eat grits. You eat grits?
I love grits.
You love grits?
I love white grits.
There you go. I came up with what I call a grit cake. And so when you replace it with this grit cake, now you have what I call Redneck eggs Benedict, because what's more country than grits?
And what's a grit cake exactly? You said a word back there. You described it as like a.
I call it, it's a country locky.
Well, I'm real proud that we're making a locky today. A grit.
We're gonna
locky.
turn you into a country girl yet. It's gonna happen. Grit cakes.
There's our redneck.
All right, so we've got some chopped up jalapenos, purple onion. We get those in some olive oil here. Get those cooked down a little bit. And what's going to happen is you want to use a fairly good amount of olive oil, because that olive oil is going to go into the grits and kind of keep them moist a little bit better. You don't have to cook them a lot. Cook them down a little bit.
Smells amazing.
Not
We've
bad.
got red onion here, or is this a mix-up?
Those are purple onions and jalapenos.
Okay.
Which I think you could put purple onions and jalapenos just about anything. Make it better.
That is true. Can't go wrong with purple onions and
Pancakes.
jalapenos.
We should try that one time.
Yeah.
I don't know about onions in a pancake. I don't know about that. All right, so get this cooked down. Basically, you got your dry grits right here. These are instant
dry
grits. Instant grits,
Okay.
Nothing fancy, guys. Instant grits. We're gonna put all that in there.
Okay, I'm just going to tilt that. I want people to see what you're doing here at home.
Yeah.
So you just threw that right on top.
Throw it in.
Smells delicious.
Now, can you hand me a spoon, please?
I sure can.
Just a little spoon. Perfect. We're gonna blend some milk in with this till we get this right there. Just turn this thing over. Just kind of turn it in like that.
What made you try this recipe, by the way? How did how did we get here?
I'm a creative person, Candace.
Yeah.
I'm very creative.
It's just like, as this was like a drunk night, and you just were like, I don't feel like waiting.
Hey, what are you trying to say? It could have been. Could have been, actually. While that's soaking up, we're going to take some butter. All right.
There's no such thing as too much butter.
Get it around in
There
there.
actually is, but
Not when you're pregnant.
nope, not when you're pregnant. No such thing as too much butter.
How many times a day do you have breakfast now?
I actually, breakfast, lunch, and dinner is now breakfast, and breakfast.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's, I don't know what it is. When I'm pregnant, I have to have breakfast.
What about little man? He like breakfast?
He likes breakfast so much. This morning he got a little high on maple syrup. It was an accident, actually. It was an old Cracker Barrel little.
Oh, you got to watch your Cracker Barrel syrup now.
Yeah.
That's potent.
Emphasis on the crack, and he drank it. I thought it was closed, and he put it in his mouth, and he drank it, and he really got high. He had a full blown.
What did he do?
High.
So how did you know? Like, what was he doing?
He was kind of like just in circles going around, and then he would get dizzy and then fall, and then he got up and he very aggressively played the piano. Very aggressively, like.
Went nuts, huh?
Yeah, he went a little bit nuts. So breakfast is a thing in our house. As a working mother, I take advantage of every opportunity to save time and money. And if you're following me on Instagram, you know that I love to cook for my family. And so thank goodness for Good Ranchers. I love this brand. I love the quality of their meat. I love their delivery service. Not only do they help me save money, but more importantly, they help me save time. Their boxes are simple to order and they come straight to your door. They make buying meat at the grocery store a thing of the past, especially because the grocery store prices feel like they've absolutely doubled. They have. Good Ranchers prices, however, stay low and affordable. Once you subscribe, listen to this, your price will never go up. Your best price is locked in for life. It doesn't matter what the inflation is doing, doesn't matter, you don't have to pay attention to any of that. You are locked in. They only source and sell 100% American meat from local farms and ranches. Their beef is prime and upper choice, the two highest possible grades. They have signature steak burgers and Wagyu burgers that are packed full of flavor. Their pre-trimmed and pre-marinated chicken breasts are absolutely delicious. Take it from me. And it's so easy to prepare. It becomes packaged just so easily. They're better than organic, meaning that they are completely antibiotic free. So be sure to go to goodranchers.com/Candace to save on the quality that you've been looking for. Use my code Candace and enjoy your box of 100% American meat and your $30 savings. If you don't buy the meat in your house, tell the person that does they have to check out Good Ranchers. American meat delivered.
So once you blend your ingredients, your purple onions and your jalapenos in with the grits, you basically just take it. Look what I'm doing there.
Making a ball.
Yep.
It looks like a golf ball.
Fairly tight.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want it too loose, so it'll come apart. And what I do is I'll take it, get one side of that, and then roll it over.
Wow.
So get both sides and put it about right there, and then we'll do it again.
Looks like a matzo ball. Right?
A little bit.
How do you say that in the South?
I don't know. We don't eat a lot of matzo balls. I'd probably say matzo ball. Same thing here. Roll it through the butter. Get it on both sides. Now what you're going to do is...
Okay, I wish people that are watching this at home could smell this because it smells
good.
Amazing.
So we're going to let that start cooking.
This is a good Southern dish. So who's the cook in your house? Is it you?
My wife cooks quite a bit. She cooks at night, and I'm the morning guy.
You're the morning guy.
So when the boys get up,
You're my guy
ready to go to school, they call it Daddy's Diner.
Oh, that's so
So I'm like, all right, boys, what are we eating today? You know, and I turn around. It's like throw the thing over the shoulder, and I turn around. Here we go. And I like cooking a little bit. All right, we're gonna press this real slow.
Daddy's Diner. That's so cute. That should be the name of a cooking show.
So while that's cooking, we're gonna get our eggs going. I just do, eggs Benedict or poached eggs. But you ever poached an egg before?
Nope.
It's
One time.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
You got to swirl the water and dump the white vinegar in it, and then you got to
Yeah.
So I just go eggs over easy. Is that all right with you?
Yeah, you're fine. I prefer eggs over easy because you know why? They're easier to make.
There you go.
Yeah.
Ah, perfect.
My husband's a poached egg guy.
The hardest part about eggs over easy is not breaking that yolk.
Yeah.
That flipped.
Oh, that looks nice.
Brown.
Yeah.
We'll get it more
There
brown
we
on the
go.
other side.
Okay, I see what's happening here. So it's
See what's happening?
It's becoming a pancake.
Yeah, and so what
becoming a
happens
Rocky.
is you've got your onions and your jalapenos and olive oil and all that inside that, and it's all heating up again.
Uh-huh.
So all that flavor starts to come out of what you put in it.
Yep.
Right?
So this is you're replacing the bread.
I'm replacing the English
Goodbye
muffin.
English muffin. So did your grandparents cook a lot when you were younger then?
Granny Rich.
Granny Rich.
Yeah, so Granny Rich,
Grandma's
she
know how to
was the little old lady with the Marlboro Red standing over the stove cooking, but she cooked, I don't even know how many thousands of pounds of fried chicken in my life.
Oh my God.
But standing around over her shoulder going, what are you doing, Granny? She goes, well, I'm making mashed potatoes. Well, why do your mashed potatoes taste better than everybody else's mashed potatoes? Well, because her recipes come from the 1910s and 20s.
Yeah, she's not using potato spuds.
No,
Yeah.
no. All right, we're getting close here. Let's grab a plate.
There we go. I can be of assistance.
Grab a plate. See how we...
Whenever it's eating time, I can be of a lot of assistance.
All right, so we're gonna put that down first. Now we gotta get these eggs flipped over real quick. Don't break
That's
the
a good
yolk.
egg.
There we go.
But even if you break the yolk, I break the yolk all the time and I love it because then it's like just, I
And
take
ju-
it right out, it bleeds all over
And if you
everything.
don't want to overcook your egg, just pull it off the heat because the skillet's already hot.
Yeah.
Just let it sit there for a minute, right? We're gonna do sausage next. So take a spoon of that sausage and just put as much sausage as you want all over that
Well, you
thing.
don't want to get me started
Pile
on
it
as
on.
much sausage as I want.
Pile it on,
So I'll just,
sister.
all right, I'll just dump the whole plate.
Perfect.
Look at that.
Take your egg,
This looks so good.
flip it on top, right there.
Now
Now we're gonna go after our Mrs. Renfro's habanero salsa.
Gotta have the salsa.
Yeah. All right, let's go down here to the end. Let's go down here and get you a little bit of that. A little bit of this. Try that.
Whew.
See how that suits you.
That looks,
Yeah, we make breakfast like this on the road sometimes.
do you really?
Well, sometimes on the road you're stuck. You know, people go, "That's so cool. You get to go play a concert, and then you just go to the next town." I'm like, "Yeah, the concert's 90 minutes, and the other 22 and a half hours,
Yeah.
I'm sitting there." So we try to come up with stuff to do.
So are you doing that on the bus?
We cook on the bus, and then outside the bus, we'll set up little parking lot kitchens.
Okay, here we go.
All right, let's see what you got.
Trying to burn my
It's probably
tongue.
hot.
Wow. That's really good.
Right?
Yeah. No, that's like delicious.
Yeah, it really is.
No, that's like actually properly delicious. Now, do you know what's so great about this recipe, by the way?
What's that?
The worst part of making grits is that afterwards you can't really save them.
True.
Right? Because they harden.
Right?
And what you've done actually is that you can save the grits in the afterlife.
That's
Keep them. No, this is like actually genius. I'm copywriting whatever he just didn't say. This had nothing to do with John Rich. It was
Grits
my
in
idea.
the afterlife.
The afterlife
Afterlife
of grits.
grits.
This is delicious. Like,
Yeah.
I'm eating this whole thing.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yay.
Ladies and
It
gentlemen,
worked.
you have to try this. I'm not even kidding. If you like grits, this is an absolute must. I can't believe I've gone 32 years without realizing that this could be done. He absolutely nailed this. Be sure to follow John on his socials and tag us if you make this at home so we can share. We'll see you guys next time. Hey guys, Candace Owens here, and I am with Jeremy Yoder. He is the Mad Scientist Barbecue on YouTube. You are not going to want to miss us making this pork belly. He knows a lot about science. I know nothing about science. We take shots of apple cider vinegar in the middle for absolutely no reason. You're not going to want to miss this, you guys. Stay tuned. Today I am with Jeremy Yoder. I just learned that Yoder is like the Smith of last names for Amish people. He's of Mad Scientist BBQ. That's your YouTube channel, right?
It is, yes.
And before we get into what we're making today, I want to know why you're a mad scientist.
I got a degree in biochemistry and then I worked as a school teacher. So what I focused on day in and day out was being able to explain science so that kids would understand. So I just kind of applied that same thing to doing barbecue videos on YouTube.
Okay, I love that. So what do we have here?
Here we have pork belly. So pork belly is exactly what you might think it is. So if you look at that, what does that look like?
Steak.
No, it looks like bacon.
I was going to say bacon.
Yeah, this
that
looks
was
like
my
bacon.
third guess.
Yeah, so this is pork belly. So it comes from the belly of the hog. And it's really nice because there's lots of fat. And so people have said for a long time, fat is flavor. But in this case, fat is going to be juiciness. That's the thing we're after.
Okay.
So this has lots of fat, which is going to be really good for us.
Okay, so what are we making today?
Pork belly burnt ends.
Pork belly.
Burnt ends.
Burnt ends. That sounds delicious.
Yeah, so burnt ends usually come from a brisket, but we can take a pork belly and kind of treat it the same way. So we're going to cube it up, and then we're going to season the outside, put it in the oven, because the more surface that's exposed, that's the more opportunity we have to create flavor.
All right, so let's get started. You don't sound mad, by the way. You sound happy.
Oh, I am
You
happy.
sound great.
Anytime I'm cooking meat, I'm happy.
Giving yourself a bad rep out there.
Okay. So all we do is we take these and cut them into cubes. So really simple, something like that. And so you get the same kind of feeling as when you're eating bacon, or candied bacon in this case, because we're going to glaze these in the end.
Ooh.
But it's got that richness. It's got all the stuff that people like about bacon, but in a bigger bite. So do you want to do some cubes with this?
Yeah, I'll do it. So you have to tell me a little bit about your Amish beginnings, because I feel like that means that you automatically know how to make everything. That was way too thick, but I did what you did. The first one's too thick. Next one's, I'm going to nail it.
They're all going to be perfect.
Yeah, they're going to be perfect.
I was born into an Amish family, and if you don't know anything different, you don't think it's weird. So when I would tell my friends growing up, yeah, I was born into an Amish family, they'd say, wait, hold on. How did you used to be Amish? And I was like, well, I don't know. It just was. We didn't have a TV. We didn't have a car. We had a horse and buggy.
Oh, I think I want to be Amish now. I think the world's getting crazy.
It is getting crazy. So it's looking like a better and better decision, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my parents left when I was in elementary school. And, you know, my grandparents and cousins and aunts and uncles are still Amish, so still have a lot of connection to that.
Okay, great. That's awesome.
As a matter of fact, the Amish make this apron that I'm wearing, so.
I love that apron.
What we're gonna do with these guys is we're just gonna put them in here, and because we're not gonna put these on a smoker, we're just gonna use the oven. And I know you're a fan of the oven.
I love the oven. I love a very simple appliance. I think it's underrated in the kitchen. Everyone's all buying these expensive appliances. They're talking about, I smoked the meat for 8 days. I'm like, well, I made mine in the oven. I love to make pork.
A lot of times people will try to accrue more and more equipment because, especially for men, that's how you evaluate your status.
How
like,
you
oh,
show
I got
your
these new
alpha.
golf clubs. But if you just know the proper techniques and know the principles behind what you're doing, you can make great stuff with almost any equipment. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is we can't put this on a smoker, but we wanna get some smoke flavor on those pork belly burn ends. So what we're gonna do is use liquid smoke. That's this stuff right here, and it's very potent. If you wanna check it out?
Yeah.
Hold it, smell it.
Oh yeah, that's nice. That's really nice. What is this again?
Liquid smoke. The volatile compounds in smoke, that is stuff that's given off as a gas, can get collected by being dissolved in water.
This is how rain works. I pay attention in that science class.
There you go. And
condensation, evaporation, precipitation. I got a C on that one.
2 out of 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, so liquid smoke, you just kind of concentrate the smoke flavor into the water, and then you can add it to things and give it a smoky taste without ever having to put it on the smoker.
That's so great. This is such a hack. This is such a kitchen hack. I love that.
Yeah, so liquid smoke is dirt cheap too, so we're just gonna dump that in there. And you don't need a lot because it's pretty darn potent.
Yes.
And then the other thing we're gonna add is some Worcestershire sauce. Yeah, so we got some of this. And the reason we want that is because we want the savoriness, the kind of umami, they say. So it's a process where a bunch of stuff, like including anchovies, breaks down for a long time.
Okay.
And so you might
That's
think,
what umami means?
umami means savory, essentially.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, so you have sweet, salty, bitter.
In what language?
Umami, I think, is Japanese.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But don't ask me any more Japanese, because that's all I know. But yeah, we're gonna add that because we want really savory notes on the outside, and we want that smoke on the outside, so we're just gonna mix these guys up. So if you wanna mix them
Oh, yeah.
and cover the outside,
That I
and
can
you don't
do.
need a smoker, and we're still gonna have smoky meat.
As a working mother, I take advantage of every opportunity to save time and money. And if you're following me on Instagram, you know that I love to cook for my family. And so thank goodness for Good Ranchers. I love this brand. I love the quality of their meat. I love their delivery service. Not only do they help me save money, but more importantly, they help me save time. Their boxes are simple to order and they come straight to your door. They make buying meat at the grocery store a thing of the past, especially because grocery store prices feel like they've absolutely doubled. They have. Good Ranchers prices, however, stay low and affordable. Once you subscribe, listen to this, your price will never go up. Your best price is locked in for life. It doesn't matter what the inflation is doing. It doesn't matter. You don't have to pay attention to any of that. You are locked in. They only source and sell 100% American meat from local farms and ranches. Their beef is prime and upper choice, the two highest possible grades. They have signature steak burgers and Wagyu burgers that are packed full of flavor. Their pre-trimmed and pre-marinated chicken breasts are absolutely delicious. Take it from me. And it's so easy to prepare. It becomes packaged just so easily. They're better than organic, meaning that they are completely antibiotic free. So be sure to go to goodranchers.com/Candace to save on the quality that you've been looking for. Use my code Candace and enjoy your box of 100% American meat and your $30 savings. If you don't buy the meat in your house, tell the person that does they have to check out Good Ranchers. American meat delivered. What are you looking out for if you're going to the butcher and you're trying to get your hands on a little bit of pork belly?
So the easiest thing to do is look for heritage breed pork. And so typical commodity pork, you can kind of think of it as the bland, flavorless cousin to heritage breed pork. The difference is, if you look at this pork belly, you see the color of that meat. They say that pork is the white meat, right? Or is, I guess, the other white meat, I should say. But if you look at that, that looks red like a steak almost. That's because there's more myoglobin inside that meat, which means it's gonna hold more moisture and gonna have more flavor than just typical commodity pork. That would be almost the same color as this fat.
I'm gonna turn this on. Nobody likes an induction stove. Nobody.
We don't actually need the induction stove.
Oh, we don't? That's why we're turning it off, because nobody likes it.
Okay, we're gonna use the oven, your favorite appliance.
My favorite appliance ever.
There we go. All right, so we're gonna put these on here, and what we're gonna do is set these down. I'm gonna season them with salt and pepper.
Okay, yeah.
You can make
Oldie but a goodie.
Yeah, you can
honestly.
make it as complicated as you want. Some things you might try would be...
We're like salt and pepper.
You could do just salt and pepper.
Well, you and I, we're like salt and pepper.
Oh, okay. No comment. You're really trying to make me uncomfortable.
That's what I specialize in.
Yeah. So...
We're gonna put a little salt and a little pepper.
A little salt and pepper. Go for it.
All right.
You can be pretty generous.
Yeah.
No, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. Ready? Yeah. It's like this. It has to fall off. It's got to fall off the forearm.
That was really good.
There you go.
I mean, you nailed that internet.
Thank you.
Yeah, you got to be on the internet more.
My job's already on the internet.
Done.
So. All right. Okay, so.
You know, we need one of these guys.
What's that?
I love, this is like one of my favorite utensils in the kitchen. Because then like when you have all this extra stuff, you know, just a little bit of, we don't need to go crazy, but this is a great way to sort of.
Sure.
Jumping in here.
The internet thing to say would be layers of flavor. So
layers of flavor.
So if you want to just keep adding a gratuitous amount of stuff, you say, we're just adding another layer of flavor right here, it's going to be all right.
We're adding another layer of flavor right here, it's going to be all right.
There you go. So at this point, we've treated it very simply, and we have a simple process, but if we pay attention to how this is going to cook down, we're going to be able to have something really tasty in the end.
All right, I'm excited.
Cool. So let's
Is
throw it in
oven
the
time?
At 285.
It's oven time.
Okay. Here we go.
All right, so about 2 hours later, this is what they will have. Is that correct?
Yeah, something like this. The things that you're looking for are probably twofold. The first is you want that brown color on the meat on the outside. That's the Maillard reaction. It's a really complex series of chemical reactions that produce flavor. The second thing we're looking for is for the fat to be crispy. Here we have something that's savory and rich, but we want to add something that complements it. And we're going to add some sauce because it's got sweetness, it's got different spices, and then we're going to use some apple cider vinegar for the acid.
Apple cider vinegar is great for a lot of things. You should also take a tablespoon of this in the morning with baking soda. Have you ever done that? Have you ever just had a shot of apple cider vinegar?
Wait, you mix apple cider vinegar and baking soda?
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, it just bubbles up?
It doesn't taste good. It tastes disgusting, but it's really good for you in the morning with a little bit of lemon juice.
I think you're pulling my leg.
No, I'm being 100% serious. My husband does this every morning. Have you ever taken a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar?
No.
Okay, well, we're going to do it.
All right.
Okay, ready?
Yep.
It's going to be good. Trust me, nothing bad will happen to us. It's really good for your stomach in the morning. I mean, it's so disgusting. It's like shocking. But it's really good for your stomach.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You see?
It's pretty potent.
Yeah, it's pretty potent. I wanted to be here for that.
Okay, so we're gonna glaze it. We're gonna dilute the sauce with some apple cider vinegar. the sauce is gonna provide the sweetness and a really great complement to the pork belly, but the vinegar is gonna add acid.
So do you want me to pour this whole thing in here? How much are we putting in here?
So we're only gonna put in enough to where it's not gloopy. Then that's the kind of consistency that we want.
Think that's good?
Looks
Too
good
much?
Yeah, it looks good for now,
good.
yeah. Let's just see.
Try that. Let me mix that up a little bit.
Yep. So you could paint them on. Do you want to paint them on?
I actually do love painting meat. I know it's a random thing, but you are correct that it would make more sense to throw it right in the bowl. Did that make these look beautiful or what? One class I definitely got an A in was art.
I got an F.
That's a lie. I didn't get it. I didn't even take it. I cut it.
Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take these guys, put them back in the oven for just 10 minutes or so because we want this glaze to get tacky, to get sticky. So we're not dealing with a bunch of sauce, that's sticking all over somebody's lips when they take a bite. We want it to stick to the meat, and then you get all the sweetness and all the flavor, but less of the mess.
Okay, I love it. So this looks to me, it's almost like, it looks like General Tso's chicken.
It does.
A little bit, right?
It does, yeah.
I like that. I'm gonna do the honors of sticking it in the oven.
Absolutely.
Stick my artwork in the oven. Guys, have you ever seen SpongeBob? 15 minutes later. There we go. All right, so 15 minutes later, it should look like this, according to Jeremy.
Yeah, this is exactly what we want. So we see some of the rendered fat still leaked out there, which means everything in the inside is nice and rendered. And then on the top here, you see how it's shiny? So that's telling me that it's glazed, it's not gonna be gloopy and running everywhere. And so you should be able to take individual discrete bites and really enjoy every bit of it.
Well, I think there's only one thing left to do.
I think so.
Oven top, just kidding. We're gonna taste that. I'm gonna do it with my hand, because it's Tennessee.
Go for it.
I learned that in Tennessee, you can eat everything with your hand.
Is that so?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Way better than General Tso's chicken.
I like it. Juicier.
That is delicious, wow.
And not super complicated.
I would definitely follow that recipe and make sure and take a shot of apple cider vinegar in the middle. For what scientific reason, we don't know yet, but we're gonna find out on Google.
Oh, I know.
Oh.
It's gonna have more acid in your stomach to digest this.
100%. It's exactly what I was getting at, you guys. You can follow Jeremy and Mad Scientist Barbecue on socials, and be sure to tag us if you make this recipe. It's really good. Be sure to like and subscribe to Candace Home if you have not already. We'll see you next time. All right, guys, welcome back to another cooking segment. If you guys were following me on Instagram, you know that my husband always hosts a poker night. And I guess they have fun, even though I feel like my husband's lost way too many times. Anyways, me and Savannah, you know who Savannah is, obviously. She's a toxic person on my Instagram that's always giving me lists. Get into the kitchen and we make a bunch of dips. I was not into dip culture before, but once I started doing it, I was like, this is actually so fun. And the men are so happy. They stay down there longer and they burn more of their cash. We're gonna get started and I'm gonna tell you guys how to make this dip. Make your husband really happy, make your son really happy, make your cousin really happy, make your sister very sad. So we're gonna start with just a little bit of olive oil and garlic. There is no such thing as too much garlic. We're making a buffalo chicken dip. You obviously have to have some shredded chicken. I'm using Good Ranchers. You guys know about that. They're the ones that you can subscribe to. It comes right to your door. It's really great prices. I love using them. Like, we use their meat all the time, especially when we're having a barbecue. But I'm just gonna go ahead and throw that Good Ranchers chicken right in there with the garlic. All right, next up, I usually make, believe it or not, because my husband is spoiled, a homemade hot sauce. And you can just pour that in there, as hot as you want, by the way. I like it super hot, so I'm one of these crazy people. And then you are going to dip here into your cream cheese. I like to add the cream cheese a little on the slower side because I don't like when it's too cream cheesy. Sour cream, which is something I never eat in real life, but on a dip, it's like a must-have. As you can tell, this is super healthy. Like, you will not gain a single pound. So my husband does not allow me into the man cave unless I bring food. So me and Savannah always bring food, and I keep knocking and I bring it down slowly so I can see what's happening. Now, I know I'm making my husband sound like a chauvinist when I say that. It'll start to melt, obviously. That's looking good. You can add more cream cheese as you go, taste it. I like mine to err on the side of spicy. Ooh, look at that. That looks so good. Sprinkled cheese, go crazy on this here. As I said, super healthy and diet friendly. Now, while it's sitting in here and it's cooking, And this is really just for the consistency to kind of bring all the flavors together. You want to taste it to make sure it's at the heat that you like. You want to find yourself a good chip like this, okay? And then you can sort of say, okay, are we close to the flavor that I want? Why am I so good at my job? Do remember to turn the heat off. Don't burn down your house. Not what your husband wants to deal with when he's playing poker. Now here, if you want to I usually add scallions at the end. There's scallions in it as well. But we're gonna first put this in the oven. Okay, then you're gonna add the cheese to the top. No such thing as too much garlic or cheese. And again, you want that because you want that to be super crusted and brown at the end. Okay, so you're gonna sit this in the oven. It's gonna be 350 degrees, 25 to 30 minutes, but you don't need to be precise, it's not a science. You just wanna make sure that your cheese is bubbling when you pull it out. And when you pull it out, it should look something like this, but it'll be bubbling and going like, and you're like, oh my God, it sounds so good. There you have it, best ever buffalo chicken dip for you guys. Use it for a party night, UFC fight night, a poker night. But if you make it, make sure that you tag me so I can share it. And I know that you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to be doing a lot more. Be sure to like it and subscribe for more Candace cooking content. I will see you guys next time.